The ability to understand what it is that you're doing to your victim, to place yourself in the victim's position in order to understand what you're doing, that's fundamental to human rights. And that's what I think Australians simply can't do at the moment. They find it unintelligible that people who come from a Muslim country would find it as appalling to be locked up as innocent people as we would find it. And somehow they've managed to overlook that simple reality.
We will decide who comes to this country and the circumstances in which they come.
We just can't continue sending a signal to the rest of the world that this is a nation of easy destination.
A number of children have been thrown overboard, clearly planned and premeditated.
Certainly don't want people of that type in Australia. I really don't.
Honestly, I have no idea what these people's reaction is going to be to us. I mean, to them, we're just this bunch of 9 strangers that are just coming in, you know, saying hello, tell us your story kind of thing, what's going on, what's it like in here. But, I mean, who knows how they'll react to that. Because I mean, at the end, we get to leave, you know.
It's like going through in a bus with a young group of people I don't know really, going to a centre which is 15 hours from Melbourne, that for us will be like crossing 3 countries in Europe. Yeah, and going to see people who have been detained for years.
I've thought about it a bit. I've still kept my mind open. I don't really know what to expect yet. I've heard what other people have said.
A lot of them seemed very sedated, and some of them were just staring at the ground and not saying much.
That was the beginning of the end for me, when I saw a few things that didn't sit right, and I started to realise that I wasn't in the right job. So I can't really go into specifics, but there were times. And I honestly don't know how some of the officers can turn off from some of the things that go on. I know I couldn't.
We've all been part of a national disgrace, I think, really, in the way we've treated people. I can see that through my clinical work in treating people who've been through it. We've caused serious psychiatric and mental health damage to people as a result of this policy.
They ought to be called jails. They've got the physical attributes of a jail, although in some cases the physical attributes of the detention centres are worse than jails. So if somebody is shut up, can't get out at will, can't go into the community, is confined in a very restricted space, I would have thought that's a jail, and we ought to be calling them that.
It comes back to the protesting, I reckon.
It does. People
it alienates people. I think you said it.
Everyone goes, oh, you're going there to protest.
Yeah.
I go, no, we're going there to visit people.
I'm telling my story at least 200 times, and a lot of time I just hate it, and I just don't want to see anyone. I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to stay with himself. But a lot of time I want to talk. I want someone hearing me. I'm in pain. I just want to talk to someone.
Not much, really, to be honest.
I don't really have any views on it.
Oh well, I think the offshore thing is probably a good option.
I don't have any views.
I don't agree with it. I think it's wrong.
I actually have no idea.
I'm an immigrant. Came in the right way. Everybody else should get in the queue.
I think it's totally unnecessary. I think it's racist. A lot of them could be terrorists. I'm not saying they are.
I don't know a lot about the policy. I think the system in place would be okay at the moment.
But these are important issues. And I would try and persuade all Australians that the matters that do affect them, because if there is serious discrimination, if there is breaches in the rule of law, those breaches will corrode the very basis of Australian society and will ultimately come to affect every Australian.
I'd like people to try and imagine circumstances where they are so terrified of their own government that they flee to another country. Do it in order to save their own families. Get there by whatever means they can in order to save their families. I then want them to imagine how they will feel if they are treated like criminals in that country just because they've asked for help. I'll ask them to think what it might feel like to be locked up for years with your family whilst some faceless official decides whether or not you deserve protection. Ask them to imagine what it feels like to be presented with a bill for the daily cost of your own imprisonment when eventually they accept that you are genuinely fleeing persecution. Ask them what they would feel like if they were punished that way for trying to save their children. And if they can honestly say that they'd be happy for them and their children to be banged up in a desert prison, well then, I guess they'll go on supporting the Howard government.